But the idea that Destiny's fans are going after him, that just bothers me, you know, that just like irks me. Like, you're just being a good person is political, I guess. This was the one where they were talking about the canvassing event, right, and how women felt uncomfortable. You're exposing him for cheating. That's like the leak, is that he's a cheater, basically. Whoa, who could have ever known this? Who could have ever seen this coming? I truly do not understand how these two stayed married for so long. Crazy Dean Withers energy here. The Destiny drama is popping off, okay? They pushed it. DGGers pushed too hard. They went too crazy. And now Hasan fans are striking back. Hasan and Hamas fans. And the intersection between the two, which is quite a significant portion of the Venn diagram. Thank you for the 149 Glizzy, Isu, thank you. Now, obviously, I already know all of this stuff. Literally nothing can surprise me here, because I know everything, okay? But it is quite funny that DGGers are finally being made aware of this stuff, okay? So Bad Empanada, who is a little bit of a doxer and a wacky fella, okay? This fella here made a video called Ethan Klein Accuses Me of Pedophilia. He must face consequences. And let's just play this little segment here that DGGers are getting all upset about.
So I suggest you take my very generous offer of apologizing and just admitting that you are kind of a dumb who believes anything that you see. Destiny, who is an actual file who you are associated with, someone who admitted to being attracted to 15-year-old girls.
So what is the admitting to jerking off to 15-year-olds then? What is that in relation to?
I never admitted to jerking off. I think I just said like this. I think the log is something like this 15-year-old chick was trying to send me, or was sending me pictures of herself, and she was hot as it's like really hard to like turn down some of these people. I think.
Wait, how old was she?
She said she was 15.
And who shared photos of them.
Dude, she's 15. WTF, but she sent me pictures. WTF? She's huge. That made it so hard to say no.
In group chats, perhaps it's not the best idea to uncritically believe what you see from that guy's fans next time. So I suggest you take my very generous offer of apologizing and just admitting.
Yeah, okay. So that's the clip. And this guy says, so, you know, I can easily defend Destiny from the allegations of being a pedophile. But I don't know that other people can. I don't know that other people can. Because I would simply say that Destiny hasn't shown that he has a primary or exclusive attraction, and it's not prepubescent. So he's not a pedophile. Now, usually, if you've got one of those, I'll accept it. I'll say, you know, if you've got primary or exclusive attraction to any set of minors, I'll accept pedophile as a colloquialism. Or if it's not primary or exclusive, but they are showing like consistent attraction to prepubescent minors, then sure, fuck it, say pedophile. But a lot of other people, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of streamers, I think, who quite like Destiny, might say something like, if you're attracted to kids, you're a pedophile. If you say you're attracted to kids, you're a pedophile. I don't think they have the language. I don't think they have the values to argue this. I think they kind of have to bend over. Me personally. Not just that, but he's actually in DMs. He was in DMs receiving pictures from a 15-year-old at like 25, 24, 25, something like that. Like, how many other people would be allowed to get away with that? Not trading pictures, I should say. Receiving a picture from a 15-year-old at like 25, 24. I don't think many other people would be able to get away with that. It's just very, yeah, I would like to see, personally, I think, for me personally, I would like to see a lot of people address this, a lot of people talk about this. Because, again, my belief is, you know, Destiny should have to move on from this. Obviously, it was a stupid thing to do. It was reckless. It was bad. You shouldn't have engaged. But it was a long time ago when the internet was like, when esports stars and like fucking streamers and shit were very new. The rules weren't set in stone. He was sort of like he was a retard. One of the first people doing it. You know, I give him some grace to grow and not be a fucking idiot again, right? As I would with anyone. You know, you can always come up with mitigating circumstances that, whatever. But plenty of people do not give that sort of grace. Do not have those values. Cannot argue this point. And yet would still suck this guy's cock. Like I think maybe Aiden, I think Aiden putting brooms there, that's quite funny actually, because I would love to hear Aiden's defense of this behavior. Because I feel like Aiden was saying that, I feel like I spoke to Aiden recently, off stream this was, and he said it was that, I feel like you said it's very abnormal or something like this to have an attraction to someone underage as like a full-grown adult when we were arguing about Lolly. But I would love to hear Aiden's thoughts on this. I would love to hear Aiden's thoughts on this. I'd love to hear Nick's thoughts on this. I'd love to hear a lot of people's thoughts on this. Yeah, the off-stream Lolly debate. It's a common thing. Let's be serious, okay? With me. I would love to, there are lots of people I would like to see talk about this. Using Destiny as a cudgel against the woodchipper speds is so based. There is a video you can watch. It's called Ethan Klein accused me of pedophilia. He must face consequences. No, I mean, we can just run this through.
Let's just take my very generous offer of apologizing and just admitting that you are kind of a dumb fuck who believes anything that you see. Destiny, who is an actual pedophile who you are associated with, someone who admitted to being attracted to 15-year-old girls.
So what is the admitting to jerking off to 15-year-olds then? What is that in relation to?
I never admitted to jerking off. I think I just said like this, I think the log is something like this 15-year-old chick was trying to send me, was sending me pictures of herself and she was hot as fuck. It's like really hard to like turn down some of these people. I think
Wait, how old was she?
She said she was 15.
And who shared photos of them in...
Dude, she's 15, WTF, but she sent me pictures. WTF, she's huge. That made it so hard to say no, and then sends an image. And then we've got this as well.
Threw this up. Did you admit to jacking off or almost jacking off to pictures of a 15-year-old that were sent to you?
So there's a chat logs. Yeah, so there's a chat log a long time ago that got leaked after I was a huge asshole to some chick. I called her ugly. I shouldn't have. It was a mistake on my end. But basically, in the course of this chat log, I was talking with a bunch of other esports guys, and we were basically talking about how crazy the fucking jailbait is in the gaming communities. It's ridiculous.
How crazy the jailbait is in the gaming community.
Or at least it was back then. I imagine it still is. And in the purview of that conversation, I think I said something along the lines of like, there are 15-year-old chicks that are like hot as fuck that will like try to send you pictures to like fuck you at events and shit. And it's like, you have to be really careful when you navigate that. I've never sent pictures of 15-year-olds to somebody, and to my knowledge, I've never gotten underage pictures. I say that because I don't know if like an 18-year-old chick or 19-year-old chick lied and is 17 or some shit, but to my knowledge, I've never received underage pictures, and I've never passed around underage pictures of people.
So what is the admitting to jerking off to 15-year-olds then? What is that in relation to?
I never admitted to jerking off. I think I just said like this, I think the log is something like this 15-year-old chick was trying to send me, was sending me pictures of herself and she was hot as fuck. It's like really hard to like turn down some of these people. I think
Wait, how old was she?
She said she was 15.
So you did get pictures from a 15-year-old?
Not nudes though. Sorry, I should specify.
Okay, but yeah, because you just said that.
Not nudes though.
No, you didn't get pictures from people.
Yeah, sorry. I meant to.
He tried.
I'm talking about nudes when I'm talking about pics. But yeah, no, she said I know what she looked like. Like she'd send me like her Facebook profile, and I think a couple pics of her like at the beach or some shit. But
in swimwear.
Yeah.
So you're getting swimwear pics for 15-year-olds?
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. This shit is fucking crazy. Shit is fucked. No, it's fucked, dude. I totally fully admit it.
That is fucked up.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, I would love to see these G's talk about this, defend this. People who like Destiny talk about this, defend this. It's very amusing to me. It's one of my favorite little dramas that's like buried away that people don't talk about very often. Because there's so many people that I see sucking off Destiny. It's like, this is why I was defending Morale to J-Stalk's audience, right? It's like what Morale did is obviously reckless and like, you know, you shouldn't fucking flirt with 17-year-olds online. Obviously, retard. But the idea that Destiny's fans are going after him as a 21-year-old talking to some 17-year-old online, the idea that Destiny's fans are going after him that just bothers me. You know, that just like irks me. I don't want to hear you guys talking shit about like fucking people who talk to teenagers, okay? Not you guys. Plenty of other people, I'm fine with talking on this, not you guys. So there's this clip as well from Max here.
Worst one that you could look at. This is probably the worst one that you could look at. There's not really much of a defense here. I mean, basically the claim that I made in the pay spin was that when you're a professional gamer, there's a lot of fucking girls that are hitting on you. It's insane. And the scariest part is the underage chicks that hit on you. I mean, it was a pretty brutally honest conversation, but I mean, I'll back up everything I said in that conversation. It's pretty fucking hard. If you're in your fucking early 20s or some shit, and you've got these late fucking teeny boppers that are sending you, these crazy pictures and whatnot, like, not necessarily nude pictures either. I don't, to my knowledge, I haven't received nude pictures of an underage.
Yeah, he's talking about that at one point in this first T. He has an old Reddit post where he's basically like, I can't remember if he's like, some guy was like DMing or hooked up with 15 or 14 or so. He like defended some guy who did something weird. I can't remember the exact details, so I won't make any statement on him. But yeah, he defended some guy that did something weird back in the day. I don't think that's that big of a deal, to be honest. I think his personal conduct is more of the point of discussion than some shit he defended. I don't really care about that.
Person, although I guess it's theoretically possible. I don't know. I've never knowingly.
No, Aiden, I know you were. Yeah, I'm saying that I was on JStalks at one point when those morale messages got brought up, and JStalks chatters were saying much more strong statements about morale, and so I was getting quite defensive on that stream towards them because obviously they are all drawn from Destiny's audience, and they would. Their guy is this guy.
He traded pictures with an underage person. But if you have like a relatively attractive 15, 16, 17-year-old and you're like in your early 20s, like, yeah, that can be a pretty mindfucky experience. But I mean, I've never done anything with an underage fan or anything like that. So I think that I'm not sure. I guess the implication there was that I would have no problem engaging in some kind of sexual relationship with an underage fan because of what I said to Stefano. Like, yeah, I don't know. I guess of all the points that he brought up, I guess like that you could attack somebody. You could attack me on that point pretty big, right? Like, oh, you should never ever be sexually attracted to teenagers. Like, that's just a moral wrong. But I feel like that argument is pretty hard to defend. But anyway,
we take a moment to applaud Destiny's restraint. He's like a monk. He's like a monk. Just nothing can tempt this guy. Not even 15-year-olds with fat titties. Okay, guys, now let's watch a Brittany Simon video. Again, I'm not like bringing this up to be like Destiny should be cancelled. I just think that while Hassan's community, Hassan, Twitch, and everyone are all forced to grapple with everything Hassan's ever said, I think, if the other side's going to bring up stuff that Destiny's done, I think they should also grapple with some of the things that they allow to slide. Again, this isn't like a deplatforming thing or any shit like that. It's like, fuck it, exactly, fight fair. Exactly, fight fair. Exactly. You should fight fair. You got some skeletons too, okay? And you should talk about them. You shouldn't just ignore them. Yeah, exactly. I certainly don't want to hear fucking wood chipper mentality from them. Holy fuck. Okay. Let's start this video now. All right. So, as you guys may know, a long time ago, I put up a video about a bunch of schizophrenic theories about Lauren Southern potentially dating Destiny at one point. It was very obviously true. If you looked into any of the evidence, you could tell it was true. If you knew anything about Destiny, you could tell it was true. You knew it was true. Nothing could have swayed you from this undeniable fact, okay? Because it was obvious. He basically wanted people to know. He was posting about it like crazy. He's saying, like, in his DGG offline chat, he's saying, would you guys hate me if I dated Lauren? They're, like, meeting up in fucking DC. They meet up in Canada. He's joking about meeting Lauren's parents. He's joking to Pisco about how Melina gets jealous of the amount of time he spends with Lauren. It's like, he had like a whole marriage drama at the time that everyone knew almost ended their relationship, and he claimed it was just with some normie girl who had nothing to do with the online stuff, and it seemed insane to say. He was reading C.S. Lewis and saying he was going to become a Christian. It was crazy. You'd have to be stupid. You'd have to be dumb. You'd have to be in a cult to be denying the evidence that was in front of you. As I said in my video almost 2 years ago, something like 2 years ago. Yet regardless, I was called a schizo. I was told I was crazy. I was told I was making leaps of logic. Like I didn't know what was going on. Like I was just some autistic retard who couldn't read these social clues, who couldn't read these messages being exchanged between Destiny and Lauren publicly and tell that they were obviously flirting with each other. Well, as we see, it's not me who is the autistic retard. It's the people who were polled, and 30% of them have 0 real-life friends. It's the people who were polled, and they're like 50% virgins. It's actually them, shockingly enough. So let's take a look at Brittany Simons' new Destiny hit piece. Let's finally talk about Destiny. Misogynist, cheater, rape apologist. So based, and based. This is the problem, is that all the criticisms here, it's like, I'm here for the information. I'm here for Brittany being a total piece of shit and leaking a bunch of behind-the-scenes marriage drama. I don't care if he's a misogynist, cheater, and rape apologist.
Streamer Destiny.
Internet communities, especially online ones that do like political debate and video games, are very much like big boys clubs. So it's not enough to just say you can't be misogynistic. Always going to be an othering effect on women.
There's a lot of stuff that you're...
Wow, he's very woke. I will say I don't like the progressive, the like, oh, we have to make this a better space for women skinwalking shit he does when he obviously does not really care about that, I don't think.
You're saying that is a part of misogyny. It's almost like obvious. Like any woman will tell you that.
Woman will, yeah, but they're not in these spaces and a lot of guys don't know it.
I think what that requires is just empathy.
If you do not know who he is,
exactly,
it's okay.
exactly. I'm here because I was right. This is a victory lap. Yes.
I will tell you.
Oh, drama, but Brittany talks about you and her girl's relationship by starting here until at least 8 minutes later. Don't get upset. Oh, no.
I'm open to criticizing all of my friends for their choices, but then look, Abbott tried to come to Steven and say your hedonistic lifestyle isn't working, and Destiny got not only like offended and defensive, but
Yeah, I need to slow this down.
literally was not open to the conversation. Did not.
Whoa. Bro, I'll talk about anything all the time ever. Are we serious?
No, I just brought up Rolo.
Yeah, you just brought up Rolo. So then the question stands, did you f Lauren Southern?
So based. So based.
Hey, you brought it up.
My guy. My fucking guy. Andrew Wilson. Andy Dobb.
I feel like I have more conversations about my lifestyle than literally any other person on the internet.
Destiny is a content creator here on YouTube who has made the rounds as a combative debate bro and somebody who's involved in politics for the Democrats and
When did Andrew ask this? Several times. Many times, in fact.
the liberal side.
I don't think you know what American values are. I don't think you know what this country was founded or built upon.
Common indoor smoker wins. So true.
You guys are obsessed with a cult leader.
But I need to make an argument today that we need to stop interacting with people that are misogynistic and apologists. Destiny has once again proven that he
Yeah, that is why Andrew was on the blacklist, yes.
has not changed, and that he's willing to throw women under the bus, he's willing to throw minorities under the bus, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to win, even if that means at the expense of everybody else. I am not making any accusations about Destiny, but I am going to tell you what he told me in private and was confirmed later by others and things he told me in group dynamics. None of the people that were there during those group conversations will be mentioned, but if they would like to come forward to confirm what he told all of us and what we all know to be true based off what he told us, you can do that, but I will not name names because right now we need to focus on Destiny. One of the things I want to avoid is something that he does often, which is puts the blame on everybody else and away from himself.
Videos.
So she's doing it.
I don't know. I don't know about that, right?
I think that could be pretty. I think she's a person that likes to see good in people, and I think she does see good in people. And I think it's a good thing.
Then how do you come away with these opinions of me? Am I really that hard that I can't see myself so much?
Introspection is really hard because you would have to face the ugliness within yourself to transform yourself. He's talking to the woman that he cheated on and gaslit, and now they're divorced, about why I think he might not be doing the greatest things to the people around him. And I want to make sure that we are focused on him since he is in many ways the ringleader of a lot of these people. And two, he is responsible for his actions and his actions alone. Since Destiny is involved in politics, and given the way that this election went, I just want to send a note to the Democrats that we do not need an Andrew Tate on the left. So here's what I know. Present tense Destiny, the person who just a few days ago mocked and belittled an assault victim, someone who is a part of his own group, made it clear that he is willing to be a apologist and misogynist like he's always been. Recently, somebody in his community named Kelly Jean, who is an assault victim, came to him because of his paid mod.
So absolutely stupid take. She gives so many dumb takes in this video too. Like she gives all the, no, we don't need Andrew Tate's or Joe Rogan's on the left. We need better people. It's like fucking hearing like female Dean Withers. Like, how did you get into politics? You know, I just wanted to be like a better person, and I guess that's political. You know, like you just being a good person is political, I guess.
Forethought.
I'd rather not bring up the details of a sexual assault that relates to me out of preference.
That's fair. I don't think you should.
We need psychopaths. We need fucking rapists, killers. That's what we need, okay? That's what we need. We need the rapist vote. We need the psychopath vote.
I was just checking if he's referring to like a thing that actually happened, right?
Yes, he is.
For those in my audience who are listening and not watching, I'm going to read out the text messages so you understand the context of those messages and why they were so disgusting. Please heed a trigger warning related to assault. These messages are from Forethought to Kelly Jean. Kelly Jean, stop pretending you're hurt by sexism. Your greatest aspiration was being an esports victim. Second message, Kelly Jean, holy no wonder you wish you got raped. You've got literally nothing going on to be doing this at 40.
Is Big Steve there in the background?
Yeah, he's in the background.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just hanging out.
Hey, Big Steve, you've read these DMs. The question is the $15 a week truly worth it for this man to be running the like it's his own. There is people that will do it that you trust for free. You do not have to give mod back to me or anyone else. There has to be better people that do not say like this. There has to.
Yeah, I mean,
why did you only send this to you because you got banned? Darius, shut the fuck up and let Destiny speak, you stupid.
Forthought's been running the subreddit for a couple years. The subreddit has been spam reported, brigaded, attacked by a whole bunch of external communities, and somehow he's managed to keep the subreddit alive. I don't really know anybody else with a record of like moderating a subreddit that I could trust in that position.
Forethought wrote her disgusting messages that I think any reasonable and rational person would find deplorable. When confronted with this by even people in his friend group, including Dan, who's now infamously known for taking down Twitch, Destiny laughed. He belittled Kelly Jean, and he made misogyny.
Why is Brittany Simon talking about what is needed on the left? Because she's trying the real. I don't know if you're asking what's her justification, but her actual reasoning, that her motivation is she's just creating justification to like, or creating like context to leak this, right? She's just trying to create a reason to leak the Lauren Southern stuff because she's been hinting at it for ages. She's been talking about how Destiny's a cheater for ages, and she always hints at stuff she knows offline. So she's just trying to come up with a reason to leak this, to get at Destiny, possibly also to capitalize on the Hassan Twitch stuff, because she's been making like endless. Like, if we go to her channel, I'm pretty sure she's been making like endless H3 content. Ethan calls Hassan a Weasley little liar. Where is that such Ethan? Ethan loses on Philip DeFranco. Adam McIntyre is innocent. Ethan avoids accountability, and Donna is queen. Ethan makes everything about himself and why Hassan doesn't want to engage. Luffy isn't a freedom fighter. Ethan goes off on Moses, and we love to see it. She's like, she's one of these awful... She's like a snarker, basically. She is basically like a snarker. That is she's one of those terrible, like, wine mom-esque losers that started watching Ethan content when he was completely cocked and worthless, you know?
Misogynistic jokes. When Kelly Jean came to him, when Dan pressured him, when people in his community asked him why is he letting this pass, he basically said that Forethought was a good moderator of his Reddit and he didn't see the issue because it happened basically, quote, in private.
Forethought thinks he's like somehow winning the battle after doing all this with Kelly.
Yeah, frenemies and joyous.
Do you stand by these logs, Forethought? Hell yeah, 100%. There's no treatment of Kelly Jean that is incorrect.
That means that you've dehumanized me to the point where I am like what?
God, yes,
nothing.
I've said that.
You do realize that that has a knock-on effect to everyone else that reads this, right? You can't just like see this in a vacuum and be like, I hate Kelly, therefore saying anything to Kelly is fine. Because
more like wine aren't probably true.
Hey, all the young men in the chat who might be getting into their first like relations with women.
Yeah, sorry for the Elliot Roger of the future that I'm inspiring.
Just a reminder, Elliot Roger, who he just mentioned.
This is so funny. Are you denying the vaccinations for your son that kids are required to get? My son has 0 vaccinations. We trust the advice of our doctors and his pediatrician. The first person ever to get CTE from Call of Duty. Dude. That's so fucking funny. Nick Merckx is a fucking retard. Let's be serious here. Let's be honest.
Was the infamous incel who gunned down women for not dating him.
It's not just that, but the whole idea is that if there's no wrong way to treat Kelly Jean or whatever, if that's her mentality when it comes to her, who's to say that doesn't expand to other people if you're mad at
You'd have to work really hard to get in the Kelly Jean camp.
Can we just start, why is it okay to do whatever you want
to Kelly Jean?
Oh yeah,
you'd have to ask Destiny that.
I mean, it's Kelly Jean.
That's not that.
Yeah, but if you have that mentality, Destiny, then yeah, he's gonna copy it, isn't he?
I think this is a reflection of his character in present tense, and I'm disappointed but not surprised.
Because I've been wanting to talk to you about the anti-misogyny arc for a long time, and I feel like I actually have a lot of thoughts about essentially like how do we achieve this on like the internet, particularly in a political space that is like pretty dominantly masculine. I think there's an intention within DDG, from what I can tell, from what you say and what people say, to make women feel comfortable in this space. Is that correct?
There's an intention from me. There's probably an intention from part of my community, but I would say it's probably a minority.
Why are the feminine traits that are already embodied within this space not celebrated and respected as much as when the masculine traits are embodied?
Because I think the thing that is the most attractive to this space, where it excels in the most, is in the combative masculine traits.
Yes. Is there a way to see a appreciation for feminine traits?
Dude, this was an awesome stream. This was the one where they were talking about the canvassing event, right? And how women felt uncomfortable. Oh, man.
But that's not what I excel in, so that's never going to be, or at least that's not what I'm like really good in. So that's not going to be what people are going to tune into me for, probably.
Eurodite, when you're talking about feminine traits, what do you think the gain would be? What's the measurable difference? If the community was more accepting of feminine traits, what would the benefit to women in the community be? I actually think that most of the issues that I see in DGG are from not like being accepting of feminine traits.
I guess I'm postulating a hypothesis. I suspect that if feminine traits viewed as...
I'm postulating a hypothesis? I'm postulating a hypothesis? I'm postulating. Shut up, bitch. The fuck? Shut your goofy ass up. So gross, man. Yeah, talk normal, for real. Talk normal. I'm super curious. I'm just like super curious. I'm super curious right now. I'm super curious. I'm like super curious.
More respect worthy and more often, even just like in casual ways of like being like, awesome, that's great. Like if you go to, I don't want to say your name without upsetting people, but if you go to Brittany Simon streams, well, there's lots of issues that you might have with it. It is a very feminine community, right? And if you look at the way that the chat comments, it's obviously going to be very different. If we saw feminine traits being respected more, that we would see pretension of women potentially increase because they would feel like traits that they probably are more naturally inclined toward is valued in itself.
I don't know if that's valuing feminine traits though, so much as people gathering around somebody that embodies feminine traits. Like I think it follows from the creator.
For the last 2 years, I've been holding on to information that Destiny told me, that people confirmed, and as much as I thought I would never have to say it, apparently he has decided not to change, to double down, and to continue being a misogynist and apologist. And since Destiny is so involved in politics, I want to make it clear this isn't somebody you want as an ally, as he's willing to throw anyone under the bus who gets in his way.
Okay, guys, I'm going to just slow this down quick. I'm going to be grabbing a coffee for just one moment, okay?
The focus of my channel is to harm reduce. And so here I am participating in what I believe is harm reduction.
Of course,
I can only hope that people in the future take my message into consideration before working, participating in Destiny's events, or God forbid dating him, given his track record in abusive women. I've met Destiny once in Miami after a few content creators and I decided to collab. It was overall a great event.
My guess is in 2 to 3 months, what I said was Lava's going to have a disagreement with Max over something because she is opinionated, even if she's like malleable, and she's going to realize when she has a disagreement, she's going to think she's safe to do it, but there's going to be a disagreement. He's going to not budge at all. She's going to get increasingly aggravated. She's going to realize, oh, he is a crazy narcissist. And then I don't know if she'll come back to me. If she might be too prideful.
Do you want her to come back?
Not really. It would take a lot.
Are you going to accept her?
It would take a lot of apologizing. Okay.
What kind of apologizing?
You don't even care about apologies.
You don't even
the
care about
problem is that like because
so
the issue is that like she's talked an unbelievable amount of shit to me to strangers in her Discord and DMs.
We're done, right?
That was less personal. I didn't care talking about that.
That's
probably. She would have to come back as like I did like 12 months at like a Catholic monastery, and now I'm like.
You know what? This is probably where I want to defend that. I don't even care about none of that stuff. I just hate every time she's on stream. It's always like laugh. I just like I don't want to hear her.
If you bring Lav back,
but I think he thinks she's a good guest. So I think that's
she absolutely is a good guest. If I brought Lav online right now, we'd have 20,000 viewers.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think if you brought her on right now, you wouldn't grow by more than 1,000.
If what? If Lav came on right now?
13,000. That's the maximum.
It's gonna happen. He's gonna do it right now.
No, I'm.
But during the time that I was there, I was confided in. I was told things about Destiny's life and his ex-wife, his now ex-wife. They confided in me together and separately about their marriage and the issues that they were having. And on top of that, during dinner events with multiple people, not just his ex-wife and I, but others, he did admit to things I never thought he would admit to. Things related to politics, things related to this job that he claims to love so much. But remember that Destiny isn't somebody with values fighting for the marginalized. He's somebody who wants the credit for winning a battle.
Yeah, but the people that engage in this sometimes the most are the people that also screech and cry that debate isn't worthwhile, which is why there are people in here screaming that I guess that I'm on speed and people screaming that I read Wikipedia.
Brother, you've been the one doing the screaming right here.
Dude, I mean, you're the biggest streamer, so you're going to get a lot of people, especially other streamers, criticizing you for stuff.
I'm
all
just saying,
sorts
just
of shit,
within this room right here, within this conversation right here, the past 30 minutes, this has happened in here.
Right. I mean, I can't speak for everybody else. You know, I could say, like, from my standpoint, the issue I have with your content in particular is not even so
Winning
much.
battles is cool. Yeah, I'm sorry, but like, this is I hate to break it to you. This is how most people feel about this stuff. Sorry, it just is. Just kind of is. Most people, yeah, want to succeed, want to do well, feel good when they win, aim to win. Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Much the way that you debate or even any of your positions, even though I disagree with a lot of the stuff you say, I feel like the community around it, from my vantage point anyway, is sort of the problem, right? Like there's this very much this mentality of like this kind of ironically an echo chamber is developed. And it's when you engage with people, it becomes like this, you know, almost like this project to try and own them or present them as a fool. And then everybody in that echo chamber like you know, kind of perpetuates that, and it's all about like finding faults and flaws and little mistakes that they make and then tearing them down and owning them rather than clarifying the position or deepening anybody's understanding or opening other people up to different ideas.
As I tell this story, I want to make it clear that the Miami event didn't actually occur just in Miami in an isolated event. There were also events leading up to it in which Destiny would tell me things, his wife, ex-wife, his now ex-wife, would tell me things. And this helped me build my understanding of Destiny as a character. His flaws, his beliefs, his values, and the things that he would say to me did over time change the way that I saw him. I had initially reached out to him because a fan suggested that I collab with him, and I did not do my research to know who he was before engaging. When Destiny and I eventually went our own separate ways, there was something that he was kind of infamous for saying, and something that I never could allude to until now. He would often say, "How can Brittany see me so much differently than I see myself?" And it's because when these men or women or they thems, when anyone tells you a story about their life and who they are, they always make themselves.
Is she farming silent audience clout? Yes, I think so. That is my read.
The good guy.
That's
Except
my read.
They forget that when they tell people their life story, the details of their beliefs and their motivations for the way that they treat and manipulate people, I'm taking note, as are you. So I did take note, and my opinions of him did change over time. He could never fathom that it was because of things he had personally told me. Instead, he usually on stream would go into rants about conspiracy theories of all the reasons why I must be anti-Destiny. Maybe I'm colluding with anti-Destiny communities. Maybe I'm traumatized. Maybe it's my mental health.
It's not colluding. You hate this guy, and now there is a good reason and a good opportunity for you to leak a bunch of shit about him. It's like you're exposing him for cheating. That's like the leak, is that he's a cheater, basically. Like, this isn't something that most people give a fuck about. I gotta be serious. Certainly isn't something that anyone who supports Destiny is gonna give a fuck about. And certainly isn't something that Destiny even keeps secret. He keeps this particular instance of cheating secret, pretty secret, because it could hurt Lauren's reputation. But I've heard Destiny say many times that he's a fucking cheater, that he could never be in a normal relationship because he just cheats. I've heard him say that it's many times. So I don't... What are you exposing?
It's just the things that he told me. Though it was very clear on who Destiny was as a person, and I really should believe people when they tell me
it's the brand,
who they are. It was hard to imagine that this person who was so passionate and
wait, you're telling me that Destiny is a sociopathic cheater who's mean to women and argues about people's rapes? I'm just now hearing this for the first time in 2024. This is the very first time I'm hearing this.
Articulate and seemed to fight for good things, was behind closed doors and maybe even honestly on stream a pretty awful person whose behavior was often ignored because honestly he won debates. That's really the thing that's at play here, is Destiny gets away with a lot of his behavior because he's really good at winning, which sort of reminds me of this recent election. How could the American people vote for a liar and a rapist? Because he wins elections. And something about that really makes people want to cheer for you. Everybody wants to be on the side of a winner, regardless of how abusive, misogynistic apologists they are.
You can't have a conversation with somebody who wants to win. He's smart in manipulating people that follows him, but he's not a smart guy. He's actually a f***ing idiot.
He's a contrarian by nature. That's like what he does, is like debate and argue. I get along with him. We have a respectful. He's in Miami. We have a respect.
In fact, there's like one kind of bombshell in this whole thing, but it's like so difficult to interpret. We'll talk about it when we get there. There is one kind of bombshell in this video, and it's not the Lauren Southern affair, but it's like there's no way to know what really happened. So, but we'll talk about it.
Respectful relationship. We disagree on everything though, but it's crazy.
Yeah. Pause. I hate saying this. I hate this. I was talking to somebody else. I was talking to somebody else. In all of my years. God, this feels so shitty. In all my years doing content, I have more respect for mine than any other individual.
Oh, fresh and fraud. Yo, Prince is like a, it looks like a fucking... You should see him build momentum. What the
He is the only person that I have seen that will consistently go into areas where there's so much like laughing and jokes and fun times to be had right here if he was shit on me, but he doesn't. He won't do it.
He's like a monkey. Preacher's over there looking like Magilla Gorilla and Donkey Kong having a baby.
He's the only person I think I've known in like my entire professional career who has like a large like independent career that's not like that wouldn't do it. Now I'm implicating other people. Like I don't think Abba
thank you for $2
would do it, but Abba's not like in space where people are shooting on me so hard. Him calling you contrarian is crazy. When he calls me contrarian, he just means I like to argue a lot, which is true I do, but he doesn't mean it in like the super malicious way. But yeah, I give him a huge credit for that.
You say you're not anti-Semitic. So here's the clip that this is the one that he erased from the other day, and then you can tell me if this is anti-Semitic or not. You're sitting with Nick Fuentes, by the way, a known neo-Nazi. You agree with that, right? He's a neo-Nazi.
I have more respect for him than any other individual.
No, I wouldn't agree with you on that.
Fuentes' treatment of me is so bad. I don't understand. That's something he'll have to learn and grow. Not to sound like not to be too self-aggrandizing, but like Fuentes should be worshiping me because I am literally I was the only lifeline that he had to like being able to breach like mainstream political conversations. Like I represented a huge potential opportunity to him, and he just was so bad faith in the way that he treats me. It's unbelievable.
Hey, we control your bodies. Guess what? Guys win again, okay? Men win again. And yes, we control your bodies. It's your body, my choice.
He should have been so conciliatory towards me. And I'm not looking for that. I'm not asking him to be my bitch or anything. But for him to be like relentlessly bad faith against me all the time, I'm like, bro, who the f are you? Like, I can put you on a stream in front of 14,000 people. Like I'm giving you your phone number to like Adam22 so you can go to a show. What the f would you like burn my shit so hard? Like you're so.
I have more respect for him than any other individual.
So now I'm going to explain exactly what I know about Destiny that made me change the way that I saw him. First and foremost, there was an affair, and this affair was messy. When he confided in me about the affair, when his ex-wife confided in me about the affair, when his mutual friends and I discussed it, it was something that was complicated and gray and messy and involved children, a married person, somebody with a reputation on the internet that, well, was pretty bad. It also was the last person I thought it would be, given that
who do we think, guys? Any guesses?
Destiny claimed to be such a liberal and a progressive at some points in his life. So for him to have an affair with somebody...
An affair? Involving children?
Who was, quote, on enemy sides felt odd, strange, morally bankrupt in some ways. This is how the story goes, according to what I was told by his ex-wife and him. There was an affair, a long-time affair with a fellow content creator named Lauren Southern.
This stream is hilarious.
Whoa, who could have ever guessed? Whoa, who could have ever known this? Who could have ever seen this coming? Whoa. This can't be, no. No, there's no way, no freaking way. It should have been me, not him. Wait, where's this video? Right, let's go through the comments on this video quickly, okay? I just hide that comment. Let's go through. Let's have a look. Better evidence, I believe the rumors. Okay, that one's fine. Coach is supposed to be on any trends. Okay. Thank you for the $4.99, Tommy boy, thank you. They didn't sleep together. For one, she's way too busy with her son to have the time to do that. And Destiny's too busy visiting places, being on podcasts, doing hours-long streams. Every guy Lauren's associated with, she's accused of sleeping with. This is nothing new. They don't have romantic chemistry. I thought this was an ironic video. Okay, this is a retarded comment as well. Congratulations. This by far the most delusional channel and fan base I've seen in my 10+ years of YouTube. Should rename the channel to Reach City, because wow. Just wow. This is some schizo shit. Okay, that is true, but I was still correct. Okay. Dude, it's a shame the Reddit post got taken down. Is there a fucking archive of it? I wonder. Oh yeah, Rolo was in there asking to rebroadcast it. This guy was just saying there was something that I never said as well. Literally not a single piece of evidence in the whole video, just gossip. Well, 5 minutes in and I just can't. Someone get this guy some meds. Dude, not having meds makes you more powerful, frankly. The cheater was actually giving that girl good advice. Psychoactive medication is made to suppress superpowers. And that's just facts. Destiny's worst kept secret that by the time this 21-minute video ends, I still have not provided any evidence to support this claim. Videos about Destiny get views, so please enjoy. No evidence. Zero evidence. When he's literally saying, like, would you guys hate me if I dated Lauren? So it's fucking offline chat. This didn't age well 1 year ago. This didn't age well. This is the most perfectly aged video of all time. It's aged like a fine wine. So yeah. You're raped. Anyone that doubted me, any doubters, any people shit talking me on Destiny's gay little Reddit, anyone shit talking me on gay little comments, anyone shit talking me in your gay little Discord saying, oh, Queeman's such a schizo. There's no evidence that Destiny fucked Lauren Southern. He said that affair was with some random normie girl who had nothing to do with online stuff. Fuck you, okay? I won. I am petty. I fucking hate you each individually as people. I remember every single one of your names, and I hate you all as individuals. It's not like a broad, I don't like people who wronged me in some minor way online. It's an individual, personal hatred for every single one, because I'm just that fucking petty and psychotic. I am schizo, actually. I am schizo. I do need meds.
I had a bunch of people earlier, they're like, I am unsubbing. This is disgusting that you're in the presence of a libtard. I'm glad someone's enjoying it. Oh, yes! Someone just... No, you should talk to him! He's obsessed with Donald Trump and it's disgusting. You really need to talk to him.
No, we're just... What does that say? It says make America great again, okay?
Oh, is this the whole point?
No, he...
Obviously, I didn't do all the work for that video. Obviously, that's like fucking cobbled together from shit I was sent on Discord and fucking shit on KF. So I didn't do a whole bunch of fucking work for that. Let's be serious anyway. But the point is, I put the video together. I got the flack for it. Fuck the people who gave me flack for it. Okay?
He genuinely is like a hardcore Trump supporter. He just said the election was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago, okay, and I'm still upset about it. I have a right to be upset, okay?
Lauren Southern, if you don't know, is quite controversial. She's sort of infamous for shooting flare guns up in the air around migrant boats.
If the politicians won't stop the boats, then we'll stop the boats.
Lauren is also somebody who's been in the conservative circles out of Canada and is considered a trad wife. But recently, she did go through a divorce that allegedly had abuse involved, and there is a child.
Bite. In fact, one of the creators that received these emails was Destiny. I think you interviewed him recently, and instead of his email that he got was, you should confront Lauren during one of your live stream debates and drop on her that she's actually a divorced single mother.
That was literally just a prank by a neurodivergent.
Who failed in her marriage and who stole her child and was cheating on her husband. And he reached out to me and was like, this is really like unhinged behavior. Are you okay? Like, how can I, like, can you take this to court? Is there anything you can do about this? And that's how I kind of started to find out about the emails.
During this time and during this divorce, somewhere along that timeline, there was an affair. And this affair got messy. One, because Destiny's now ex-wife didn't know it was happening. And even though they claimed to be in an open relationship, there was a lot of lying and deception that occurred. According to them, he had kept the affair secret and kept telling her that nothing was going on. Every time she inquired, hey, you seem odd. Are you okay? Something seems off. He would say, you're crazy. Everything's fine. Everything's great. I'm normal. You're the one who's not normal. There was gaslighting involved. There was lying and deception. All of this time, he was sleeping with Lauren Southern, meeting up with her, collabing with her, and planning to leave his now ex-wife for her. This isn't just a simple, I cheated. This was a deliberate affair that happened, and over a course of time, he deceived and lied to his now ex-wife. And honestly, if it didn't go the way it did, he would have been with Lauren Southern now. But Lauren had a...
Aside from your rightful victory lap, do we actually care? No, the only way in which I care is the fact that Destiny went so hard and like, created, like, moral issues and went fucking crazy at DK for mentioning it and all this shit. Like, when he said before, if you use your if you allow parasociality to foster as a way of you making money, you can't really complain when people talk about those elements of your life in a way you don't like. He said that about e-girls, with how they would pretend to not have boyfriends and shit to make more money, and then he would be like, well, why are you complaining that people are speculating on whether you've got a boyfriend or not if you use that to try and make more money? So I think it's fair. The idea that you then bitch when people speculate about your romantic entanglements, when a huge part of your stream is drama with your romantic entanglements, it's like, how are you fucking complaining about this? How are you fucking... you signed up for this. And he's, like, sharing information about it, too. Like, just posting that he's going to Canada, that he's going to rehabilitate Lauren and her mother, that asking, oh, would you guys hate me if I did... if I dated Lauren? Like, you're putting out you have justified the speculation at that point. You have engaged in that way. So... people are allowed to fucking talk about it. The idea you'd get upset that people are talking about it or asking about it. The idea that he gets upset that Andrew Wilson's asking about it's like, dude, you have set up what you believe about these sorts of things, and you have set up the conditions for this happening. So I'd hate the bitching.
a change of heart and decided to dump Destiny for somebody else. He came back crying to his now ex-wife and begged her to take him back, claiming his mental health was impaired. That's also what he told me. He told me that my mental health was insane. You don't understand, Brittany. I was so distraught. I was so mentally ill. I don't know. I was insane. You don't.
Yeah, literally, the whole forethought situation right now just gives me such deja vu to the DK situation. Such deja vu. Going super hard, trying to get an employee fired over slightly crazy comments, but it's like totally flipped. It's totally flipped. And, you know, I'm sure if you press Destiny on it, he would say, well, it's just a personal issue to me. It wasn't a moral thing. I just don't want to have that shit happening to me, so I'm not going to associate with people who are doing that to me. Which is like, I mean, fair enough. Like, you're not obligated to associate with people who are like trying to fuck with you, I guess. But I hate it's the moralizing, the smearing, the, oh, it's just like Kiwi Farms, all this shit, just because your shit got spoken about once.
Understand. And we believed him. We somehow tried our best to meet him where he was. And though we called him out and said this was unethical, he also claimed he was suffering. And all of us believe in redemption and restorative justice in a sense, at least I do. So I thought, okay, maybe he just needs therapy. So that time that I was in Miami, Destiny was busy on his phone because he was being canceled by another group of content creators for abuse of women. And he sat there at a restaurant with me and his now ex-wife.
DK was making a bunch of comments about the Lauren Southern affair and jokes about Destiny's marriage or some shit. And so Destiny basically spazzed out and said either Chud fires him or Destiny's cutting all connection with Chud. And his fans were going fucking crazy over it. And he was saying that Spicy Chat's just like Kiwi Farms 2.0 and all this sort of shit. So...
and openly admitted that in order to win this war against these content creators, he would manipulate a woman who was honestly so abused by his community, who has her own problems, but also didn't deserve any of the backlash or misogynistic bullying harassment that occurred because of Destiny's interactions with this woman. But he picked her, used her, manipulated her, admitted to us at dinner that he was doing it, and said, this is the only way to win the war. I have to convince her to be on my side.
Yeah, he was commenting, to be specific, he was commenting under Chud's videos using Chud's account, saying, like, to DGGers, Destiny fucked Lauren Southern and shit like that. So probably a pretty stupid move, but like pretty analogous to the forethought situation, to be honest.
And I looked at him and I said, this is unethical. This is unethical to manipulate this woman. This is unethical to, quote, win this war. This is unethical. And his ex-wife looked at me and said, and this is the man I married. And though he looked ashamed, he did not slow down.
Yeah. You want to get...
Well, no, where it would be...
I think he signed some of them as himself. I think he signed some of them as himself. I don't know if he signed all of them.
So big that I won't even go on shows, or I won't have people that are, like, platforming them. I don't know if I've ever done that before.
No, you only done it with Anna.
You remember the girl I told you about that Destiny was manipulating behind the scenes, and we told him it was unethical? Yeah, he's talking about a girl named Anna. The girl he's talking about right now in this conversation. Pay close attention to the way that he talks about Anna being manipulated by others. And
I don't know what Rolo video you mean. Rolo, I don't believe there was a pregnancy. I think that was a troll by Brittany and Lauren to throw a red herring to get people off of the affair. But I believe there was an affair. Well, there was an affair.
If you can, look at my facial expression while he's talking, because in my head, I know that he's manipulating her behind the scenes, as I'm sure others are as well. But in that moment, I had no idea what to do, except push back in ways that I thought were subtle but clear. And of course, what I learned was you can't subtly push with people like Destiny.
Why are you going the extra step?
Because Max, I think, is genuinely like an evil, harmful, abusive person that I don't want to be involved in blowing up anybody around him. I don't want people to think that it's like cool to like platform that and give him like a bigger opportunity to manipulate and abuse people.
It is cool.
And because Lav is like his witting or unwitting tool right now to like recruit people in and abuse people. Like Lav was the person that got Anna, first of all, like wired the up, especially now that I've seen a lot of DMs between her and Anna. I see that like she wired the she ramped the out of Anna, and then she connected her to Max.
Okay.
So wait, when Max and you remember when you pulled me into a call with Max, and I was like, I had like my hair tied back, and I was like, it was like 8 o'clock at night. It was like a surprise, and you were trying to explain to me like who Max was, and you were like, you know, and it kind of like in that moment I looked like an idiot, to be honest, because I was like, did I blow this out of proportion? Do you think in that moment you understood who Max was?
And so here's okay, so this is how people work, okay?
My criticism.
Dude, I hate it. Dude, I literally, the way Destiny talks sometimes, it's like just makes you want to. Dude, it's fucking crazy. This is how people work, okay? Shut the fuck up, dude. How about you answer the fucking question? How about you answer the fucking question you were just asked, instead of going off and opining about the nature of human interaction? Nobody want to hear it, bro. Answer the fucking question.
Yeah, no, but you also believe, the main criticism that you believe are also with like Erudite and other people, where you're like, oh, I think that Steven is like deeply unhappy. Brittany, finally!
Wait, I never...
Brittany finally saw me off stream, and Brittany finally knows now, I think, where she's like, you trust that I'm not like miserable or horrible about all this shit going on. Like,
no, you're
behind
a masochist.
Thank
who
you.
loves
Okay.
to be beaten up,
Yes.
and you love crying women and men,
Yes.
and you hope that they
Thank
always
you.
come to you and on you and all those.
Based. Thank you.
Hey, do you know what you just did there?
What?
You gave me criticism. I was like, oh, you heard what I said because I care about you. And then you were like, oh, but you also said this other thing. I'm like, I didn't say it. We're talking about this one thing, right?
You want me to give you props when you're criticizing me?
No, you were criticizing me. No, that...
We were talking about your criticism of me.
No, you were saying, like, I can take this.
Oh,
as
yeah, I
an
can take some
advice. And I'm
criticisms,
like,
yeah.
Yeah. And
But
I
the
said,
main thing that you and Erudite, the last time you guys were here, you were screaming at me.
We're not talking about that. We're
Okay.
talking about this specific
Thank you
thing.
for your
But you're going
criticism.
to bring up something else to shit on me. That's
No, I'm not bringing up the shit on you.
I truly do not understand how these two stayed married for so long. How is it confirmed again? Was this ever brought up before? I've literally never... Yes, it's confirmed again because Destiny literally alluded to it a bunch of fucking times. Counterpoints leaked it when Chud was going over stuff. And both Mr. Girl and Lav corroborated that Destiny had an affair around that time. That ended basically when Lauren Southern stopped appearing on streams. So yeah, it's confirmed again. Also, in the leaks during his divorce, there were leaks between Melina and TC Brady, where Melina is talking about the Lauren Southern thing, in quotes.
Because that's your main criticism. The post...
Chud said it, but Chud didn't have any information. Chud wasn't leaking anything. Chud was just going off of public, evidence.
In my subreddit and the things that people saying, and the message you sent me even earlier was about like, let's get therapy, we need to save you.
I think we should go to therapy together.
What's
That's
that?
what I'm saying.
I think he has a gripe with like Erudite's criticism, and then I think maybe yours similarly, where he feels like you guys are concerned about the idea that he may not be happy on the inside when it comes to certain relationships.
I understand why.
It's the same advice. It's the same advice that you're probably giving as her.
Kelly Jean also leaked DMs while beating with Jay Stalk that separately confirmed the Lauren Southern affair. Fair enough.
But I think he feels like it's just coming from
No,
a
the
different
advice
place.
right now, I think he's super happy because he's having everything. But I think if he keeps going in a certain direction, he might lose the things that actually makes him happy.
Like
That's
like
my...
what?
Like
Melina and Dan, we're gone. We're out of here.
Because he's actually legit scared of things that he does sometimes, and for me, it's a lot of for me to deal with, like being with him. And when he increases like the crazy,
You mean like when he's
I
getting
get
these like
tired.
Twitter dramas or like not Twitter, but like actual like people like making these allegations? Like it's a
yeah, of course it affects me too.
Okay.
Yes, and no one really ever talks about that, but it does. It
Yeah.
does affect me.
Yeah.
So I'm telling him.
That's actually a good point because
Yes,
even though
you will-
you're
you will
resilient,
lose
the people
certain
that
things
care
in your
about
life.
you probably are actually more.
That's why you
terrified.
have to be Batman. When I do drama, I need to put on a mask.
Yeah, you would need to. But do you ever take that into consideration?
A little bit, but usually the
you're
goal
more
is
resilient,
to-
and I actually don't care that your fans get upset because at the end of the day, that's their right to. But the people you
people that
choose
are
to have
close
in
to
your
you,
life,
yes.
like me, you're a grown man. If you want to up some stuff, go it up. But for someone who's actually dating you, or maybe even family members, like I don't know if that's actually.
This personal life drama arc is pretty cringe. Thank God for October 7th. Okay, but I guarantee you watch like fucking 5 times less Destiny content than you did before October 7th now.
Actual situation. I can see how that would be a terrifying thing for them.
Yeah, but the goal is to surround myself with people that are really resilient. And if people don't have a certain level of resiliency, they probably can't get like to a certain closeness of me. Like resiliency is like one of the primary things I choose for when it comes to like close friends and shit, I think.
Yeah. But I would say that like even me and Dan putting up with the things that we're putting up with is still pretty like far out there compared to most people.
Yeah.
You've had us for a long time too. You can't just find someone that you just have a history with just like that. So like you have to like balance that out or figure that out. That's why I'm saying.
Do you acknowledge that? Like there is a certain level of
I
resiliency?
acknowledge it, but when she says that, she's not really saying that. What she's saying is you're too crazy, you need to pull it back because I'm not comfortable with it. That's what she's saying.
But no, that's exactly what I'm understanding, which is like to a degree somewhat.
Well, sure, but then
because she's saying like we've already met a pretty solid threshold for resilience, which I would argue if my significant other was involved in a lot of stuff that you're talking about, I'm very resilient. I would still feel like that's a lot, and you probably should pull it back because I'm like that is a lot. And so you don't think that's valid at all?
It's valid.
Because how many people you gonna meet that can handle that much? Because I don't think I can meet many.
The problem is that like it's not.
Go ahead.
Well, it's not for me to say this, but like I can live my life in a lot of different ways, right? I can be a single person and be okay. Like I can do a whole bunch of different things.
You told me on stream you really want someone to
I do. It would be nice. But like that, like there are a lot of things that would be nice, but it doesn't mean I'm willing to make a whole bunch of sacrifices. Like when you say you really want a person that like can be like blah blah blah, yeah, that's definitely true. But I don't want to sacrifice a whole bunch of shit to get that. Like I would much rather be like, yeah, that's the thing.
So let me ask you: you don't think it's a reasonable compromise to say, listen, I'm not mad like a lot of the stuff that you do, but maybe these more unhinged types of people.
When you say reasonable compromise, you make it sound like there's like a set like it can be totally reasonable for somebody to say, I want to eat shit every single morning. No. I want to have shit. Yeah, if somebody wants to.
The thing is, okay, it's crazy to say all this in front of your wife, but it's like Melina shouldn't be asking him to tone down the crazy in the first place. Okay? Frankly. This guy's life is content. It always was. She knew that going in. I doubt he hid that. Like, it's gonna be, yeah, like, honestly, fuck off and literally get out of the kitchen if you can't take the heat. That is kind of, just fuck off. If it's a problem, fuck off. That really is the case. Your life has to be, if you're fucking making personal life drama content, your life's going to be fucking crazy. Yeah. That's kind of how it is. And she was given like a huge streaming career out of it. So she could just like leave and go make a bunch of money on her own. And probably she would make more money if she didn't have like a husband, but hadn't fallen out with him so horribly and alienated his community from hers. If she just like put more work in and like left, she could have just like had like loads of money and been in an epic situation. And I don't think Destiny was even like, I don't think he was even like trying to stop her from leaving at any point. It's like, so just, yeah. The Lav and Lauren Southern stuff was a damage multiplier, I reckon. Maybe. That's very possible. That's very true. But yeah, it's just kind of like, who cares?
I legitimately think Mr. Gross like
if she's saying tone down the crazy, he should say, no, I will let you leave before I tone down the crazy. Okay, that is the way it should go.
On a Hinge person,
that's the content perspective.
Like,
potentially.
Okay, when you invite somebody like that in your life, that would probably put a mental strain on a lot of people around you.
For sure.
For people to be like, yo, I would prefer if you weren't like bringing these people into all of our orbits. I think that's a reasonable thing. Like, this dude, like, serial killer vibes. Like, I'm not joking. When I say, like, I could see him rolling up here and, like, murking everybody, I really do think that.
Yeah.
And so, stay away from crazy people who might eat their girlfriends.
Stu saying. So here's my question, just so I'm not projecting. Are you saying you would rather have Max and Lav in your life than Melina?
Whoa, Jesus, when you make it direct like that, but yes.
Yes, he's saying that.
But not like, wait, let me clarify that.
So, see, like, I can't even hate this. It's crazy to do. I can't hate this. I can't hate this. Crazy thing to say, obviously, but I can't. It's just like, prioritize content. Melina came in knowing it was like this. She is fucking retarded. Like, I don't think she actually understood it. But like, I mean, it's just because she's like a fucking airhead. She's just like a fucking retard. Again, that's one of the many reasons why I don't understand how their marriage lasted so long. When she's asked for like, oh, what are you interested in? And she's like, sex, drugs, and travel. It's like, how is Destiny married to this person? Like, yeah, no shit he was trying to leave for the Nazi.
Hold on, because you're talking about marriage. It's not Max and Lav. It's the ability to have, like, those types of, like, insane interactions.
Okay, so you would rather have Max and Lav alikes than Melina.
Or than any partner that wouldn't be okay with that type of craziness.
Let me ask you this. Would you say you'd want to be able to keep these people in your life, but not maybe so close to them?
Yeah, oh, dude, that was the craziest stuff. Dude, no, you don't understand. She's actually really smart. She can get a plane all by herself.
It down to 80% still one.
Yeah, so like actually have the interaction with them on stream, but not bring them so close into your life where they're involved with your family and stuff like that.
Maybe.
But after I realized he thought he was too smart for therapy, and it was clear that he was going to allow women to be thrown under the bus at every turn, I realized this man was never going to say it out loud. He was never going to say out loud that he had a long-term affair with Lauren Southern, that he lied to his wife, that he blamed her for the need to have the affair. Because when it came out and everybody saw they were getting a divorce, he never corrected the narrative. The narrative is that they were getting a divorce because she had cheated and left him for someone else, not taking into consideration everything that came before that, not taking into consideration the way that he lies and deceives, not taking into consideration that the time that I was in Miami, while he was busy on his phone arguing with Reddit comments, trying to stop a cancellation from happening, she was crying to me about ways to save her marriage. She spent that whole time in Miami asking me, can I save this? Can I help him? You don't know his good side. You don't know his vulnerable side. He's a good person. How do I help him? Only to find out that this good person that you were advocating for, that you were deceived by, went and threw you under the bus the moment he could. And every time I asked him to get off his phone so he could have a conversation with us, he'd say, I would, but my wife gets jealous if I get more attention than her. I would, but my wife is emotional and unstable. I would, but my wife. At no moment did he take any accountability for the way that he was acting as a bad friend, the way he was socially interacting inappropriately, the way he was manipulating these women.
I'm sorry, I don't, please. Like, why? How is this a point in your hit piece? He spent all his time on his phone. Like, yeah, it sounds like he's fucking autistic, dude. He's the gamer debate bro guy. Yeah, I'm sure he is fucking autistic. Yeah, I'm sure he is fucking annoying to be around in social situations sometimes. No shit.
It was always his ex-wife, his ex-wife, his ex-wife, his ex-wife. And listen, that should have been my cue to leave. I should have gone back on a plane and gone home. But I didn't. And I can tell you that that is a mistake in a lot of ways. But it's what I did. Because I, like many of you, we want to do emotional...
Destiny should post a Kingdom Valley Act 1 time. I think we need to see a Kingdom Valley Act 1 time from Destiny to really check this.
Labor for those who won't do it. And so moving into 2025, let's stop that generational cycle. Let's end that generational curse of doing emotional labor for people who aren't going to do it themselves. I've waited 2 years for Destiny to figure it out, to go to therapy, and to realize he is the problem. And he hasn't done it. And I am sick of seeing women bear the brunt of this man's abuse. And
actually true. Who wouldn't be glued to their phone if Brittany and Melina were grilling them? So true, dude. Brittany and Melina are staging an intervention for your mental health and marriage. Yeah, fuck, dude. I suddenly empathize with Destiny so much more. I get it. I get it.
Even though Kelly Jean, who is infamous in the community for mocking me, saying that my illness isn't real, and has been cruel to so many people, even Kelly Jean doesn't deserve this abuse. Because 2 wrongs don't make a right. Except that Destiny believes it does. And I just want to make sure that we understand that about his character.
So as heavily requested, let's talk about this Destiny, Piers Morgan, Donald Trump situation. And Destiny, if you don't know, is a controversial political commentator and streamer. But he's been getting a lot of heat for his comments following the Trump assassination attempt. With a lot of the stuff he has said in the aftermath, both on stream and on Twitter, pissing off a lot of people. With this, including comments that he made about the firefighter who was killed during the shooting at the Trump rally.
Get the dude, the firefighter guy, Trump, the people that support him. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine and you end up, getting blown away or whatever the I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter.
He's made points similar to that a handful of times, also tweeting about the situation seemingly nonstop since Saturday, with some of the posts gaining the most traction, saying things like, a person in a crowd cheering for and supporting a traitor to this country caught astray. I'm so sad, please. Terrible. I'm sure Corey and Babbitt are both having fun with each other in hell right now, as well as Donald Trump incited an insurrection and then was granted full criminal immunity for possibly all of his involvement. I have zero sympathy for anything that happens to him or anyone who supports him.
Please note that none of the anger directed at Trump has anything to do with the women he's assaulted. Moving forward, while I was there in Miami, once again, as he was throwing
action and then was granted full criminal immunity for possibly all of his involvement. I have zero sympathy for anything that happens to him or anyone who supports him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? Trying to overthrow democracy actually makes you a worse person than just raping one woman, I think. Yeah, actually, one of those is kind of a bigger deal than the other one. Just say it. It really is. It really is.
Note that none of the anger directed at Trump has anything to do with the women he's assaulted. Moving forward, while I was there in Miami, once again, as he was throwing his wife under the bus, throwing everybody under the bus. You don't understand, Brittany. You don't understand. I was losing my mind. So he was allowed to use his mental health as an excuse for his bad behavior. But anytime women in his community are triggered, have moments of vulnerability, they're weak. They're girls. They're cluster Bs. Look, if you want to keep your life private,
exactly. It's a utilitarian calculus. Think about how much more rape there's going to be under a Trump presidency, guys.
But you can't go around pretending you've done right by the people in your life when...
My life is so much more public than anybody on the internet. I think there's 2 things about my life that people don't know about over the past 15 years.
I'm not saying Steven is a bad person. Like I said, I think the majority of the world is good.
Maybe Trump won't be so bad.
But I don't see Steven actually owning the fact that he's bad at relationships when he's giving relationship advice. He gives relationship advice, but he's not great at relationships.
Dude, I can't.
You really think it's a troll?
You're the evil devil, okay? Don't be here. You're gonna make me stop. You're the bad one, okay? That's gonna make me think bad thoughts, okay? I'm staying.
No, No, I'm absolutely the angel on the shoulder. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I don't think she's trolling, but I don't know. She has such a wild impression of me that is so far from reality. Even the examples that she gave were so wrong. She literally gave the example. Sneako's open about his cheating. Like, first of all, cheating to these guys is Giga Chad. They think that's cool. Like, he literally talks about how he... I can't even say anything because I don't even know how much he's public with. I can't even say what I want to fucking say. Like, I am so open with everything. I said I've cheated on Aaron like 20 times. I've always said this. I don't lie any of this about my life. I can't lie anything about my life. My whole life is public. How the she possibly say this kid is more open than me? He says he's Islamic. He doesn't even know he's never opened
a... crashing out. This guy crashing out bad.
I see it. Obviously.
This guy crashing out.
Bias with you because she knows about cheating.
Dude, it's so funny how mad Dan gets whenever I say he's crashing out. Dude, it's actually fucked. And I had like one of the callers say it to him for me on JSOX. It was very funny.
Explain why she doesn't have a bias towards Sneako. Correct? That's what's frustrating right now, right?
I don't know how she can say he's open-minded.
The first is, do you like... I know you talk to a lot of people, and you seem actually quite open-minded to me. Is that...
He is open-minded. That is who Sneako is. I want to know if Dr. K thinks Steven's open-minded.
How is he the open-minded one? I don't understand. There's no way. I don't know if she's still like, is she upset from the conversation and it's just like carried over into everything now?
So remember, this man who argues that women and cluster Bs weaponize their mental illness to get away with bad behavior, he is the one who is doing this action. Moving forward in the conversations that occurred, there was a group event and he admitted to something that I never thought he would admit to, something that directly impacts his political, I think, desires to be accepted by the DNC and by maybe normalized political groups. The way he goes after other streamers for being too extreme. Remember, this man isn't a liberal because his values are liberal. He's a liberal because he wants to win and he thinks it makes sense to be on that side to win for whatever reason. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask him. But this same man that says he works so hard, the same man that is upset that the DNC and other people won't embrace him the way they embrace.
Okay. Like, you can say this, but then I feel like Destiny's arguments for why he thinks the things he thinks generally make sense. So like you can't have to contest that. So you're telling me he only believes in liberalism because he thinks it's what the easiest to argue in a debate, or like because he thinks they'll win politically in the end? Like what? I don't think that's the case. This sounds like a kind of bastardization of things I've heard Destiny say before, where he's like he's a liberal because of self-interest, but then that's like just it's like a retarded like. God, I'm really gonna show my knot if I keep talking about this. But he had like this whole retarded like ethical egoism thing, where he's like, I'm self-interested. I believe everyone else to be self-interested, but within people's self-interest is working with others. If everyone was self-interested, the world would actually move forward in the right way. Like that's like his whole fucking argument, or was his whole fucking argument back in like 2016 or 2017 or some shit. So I feel like it all makes sense. Roughly, but the way she's saying it just isn't the way I've heard it. Like, yeah, you can say that's because he wants to win, sure. But I mean, the things he's saying still make sense.
Embrace others. The same man that complains that for some reason people don't want to be around him forgets to look at his own actions as maybe the reasons why. And so, there, at the restaurant, in front of other people, for whatever reason, he felt comfortable telling us that he was committing voter fraud. I was shocked. To be honest with you, I didn't think he would ever say that out loud. I think it's a pretty big deal, given his reputation online as somebody who wants to be in politics. And again, I'm not making the accusation. I am telling you what he told me. Actions as maybe the reasons why. And so, there, at the restaurant, in front of other people, for whatever reason, he felt comfortable telling us that he was committing voter fraud. I was shocked. To be honest with you, I didn't think he would ever say that out loud.
Dude,
I think it's a
this is so dumb.
Big deal, given his reputation online as somebody who wants to be in politics. And again, I'm not making the accusation. I am telling you what he told us. I'm telling you what came out of his mouth. He's a registered voter in Nebraska. He votes in Nebraska, even though he's in Miami and should have registered to vote there. But he
Well, what's next? Is he speeding? Destiny, address the speeding allegations. It's just like, bro, who gives a fuck? Yeah, exactly. Did he even double vote? Did he even double vote? Or was he just voting in the wrong state? One vote. Yeah, he owns a house and his kid lives there. It's not even like he's got no interest in the state. Like, he's just voting in a swing state because he wants to try and edge out for the Democrats. It's like he does have an interest in that state, so that you can even morally justify it, really. Like, it's so stupid. Oh my God. What are you in for? Voting in Nebraska?
He thinks it's better for the Democrats that he votes in Nebraska, as Nebraska is conservative. Again, willing to win at any cost, even if it means cheating. This is Destiny. This is his character. And I think it speaks volumes. I should have left right there, then got on a plane and left. But given the circumstance and considering he wasn't the only one I went to Miami to see, I stayed. I collabed and then I left.
What is it? I should have got on a plane and left when Destiny admitted to voting in the wrong state. What? What? Like, is it like you're talking? Like, he's like it's like rape. Like, it's actually like on the level of rape. Like, he's just confessed like being a child molester to you. When you told me, it's like that's literally the level we're talking on.
Idea of Destiny changed in my head forever, because the more I learned about him, the more I realized this is just not a good person, but in a philosophical sense, which is what my channel is based around. All of us are struggling, and if Destiny could face himself and get the therapy he needed, he might just be one of the greatest people. But for now, he's not. He is the Sneakos. He is the Andrew Tates. He's exactly the problem with masculinity and men in these bubbles who claim they care about women, but every move they make is at the expense of those women. Every move Destiny makes is at the expense of anyone who gets in his way. Now, I understand the people in his life see the real good in him, and I think you see it too. There's a charisma about Destiny, same with Trump and Andrew Tate and all these people. There's something about them that feels so authentic, but it is a show. I don't think this video will change a lot of hearts, but I do think the right people will hear it. You might feel comforted because the way the internet has gaslit us into thinking that Destiny is just a victim and that everyone just hates him for no reason without considering the fact that he has ruined, impacted, and
so yeah, the whole thing with like manipulating Anna, it's like she has no evidence for it. I wouldn't be. It's like I would need to see what Destiny actually was saying to Anna, really. But if he actually coerced her into not giving testimony or some shit, then yeah, that's obviously fucking bad. If she had some shit to say and he stopped her from saying it, like, yes, that's bad. That's obviously like super bad. But we know, like, you know, the thing, it's not really a kill shot because we kind of know that Destiny acted, like by most people's standards, Destiny acted pretty wrong with Anna anyway. Like, even I was talking to Supreme the other day. I was fishing for disagreements. And even he said, I think he said it was disgusting when I was on JStalks. It was he used some word like that. A stronger word than I thought I would hear someone like that say. Say it was like disgusting or gross or something, the way he treated Anna, the way he, you know, continued sexting her in the background while smearing her as a stalker, that sort of shit. Like, people know that's bad. People know about that. And either they defend it because they're a fucking cultist and there's nothing you can do about it. Those people never change their mind. Or they condemn it. So, like, it's nothing really that new. No, JStalk doesn't use the defensive sexting excuse, I think. I don't think so.
And honestly hurt so many people and their lives. It can't be ignored anymore, especially moving into 2025. We need to stop doing emotional labor for people who won't do it themselves.
Do you really think they'll move on? They've been stalking you for years at this point? No, because, well, for Destiny, he won't move on because he'll never give up. Like, his anger and resentment will carry on for the rest of his life. Like, he'll only stop, I suspect, if I stopped streaming. But for people in his community, they'll probably get bored. They'll consider it to be stale and they'll move on to the other thing. But he makes a lot of money off of this. So the more I grow, the more my haters grow. And the more my haters grow, the more he can make money off of them. So I don't think he's going to, I don't think he's going to stop. But it's all good. That's neither here nor there. I'm a happy man. I rest easy at night knowing that I'm doing right by others. You know what I mean?
This is major Dean Withers energy. Crazy Dean Withers energy here. Where is it?
She wants to know how you got started in politics. Just by caring about the world around me. You know what I mean? That's all. I got into politics because I was like, hey, maybe we shouldn't like hate gay people and we shouldn't act like men are superior to women. And I guess it's political. Uh-oh. You know what I mean? Like, I got into politics because I just want people to be better. But I guess being better is political, okay? It's 2020. Like, what can you expect?
You just gotta do what you believe in, you know?
I know in the past I've collabed with lots of not great people, and I have privated those videos because as much as I wanted to meet these people where they weren't willing to do the work, whether they were Sneako, Lauren Southern, or Destiny. So when the Democrats say, do we need an Andrew Tate on our side? No, we do not. We do not need a Trump. We do not need any of these men who are willing to win at any cost. We need good people with good values who want to move the country forward. One of the things that stands out to me about Destiny is he believes he's not abusive as long as he doesn't hit women. That's why when Steven Crowder's videos came out of him abusing his wife.
If you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries. Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes, how does a man respect how a man get an Uber?
Okay, Steven, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Steven.
Like, I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxing has made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either. Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, just be disciplined about it, you go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay.
Steven Crowder was real for this.
No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're
so real for that. Always shout at your pregnant wife.
right then, Beth. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife. Hillary?
Pregnancy is not an excuse for laziness.
Come on now.
I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to engage.
I hate judging. I hate evaluating like fights from like, or I hate evaluating relationships from single fights. They're honest to God, I just don't have enough information.
Okay, this is why the only positive male role model in my media consumption life that remains unshaken is Mike David. Am I wrong? The Mike David A-logs, the haters of Red Bar, say that he met his wife when she was 17.
Information to make any statement about this. It could be the case, for instance, that I mean, obviously, you should never fuck you up to a partner. Like for this particular clip, it could be the case that
Okay, so I'm okay with that. Don't care. Don't care. Problem. Don't care. Okay, I say okay. I'm saying the reaction here. Okay.
It could be that he's like trying to keep her from going anywhere. He's trying to lock her in the house, etc. Like that. Those could all be things for sure. It could also be the case that she's like an ultra super lazy that does nothing around the house ever, and he's getting tired of it. I mean, like we can sit here and jerk off about how evil and horrible somebody is, but like I hate trying to evaluate like relationship status from a fight. He's acting like a child. You don't know that. You have no idea though. You don't know. Like, what if it is theoretically? It could be the case. It could be the case that he just got home and is chilling after recording like a second or third episode from the day and found out that like everything in the house is in disarray or and maybe they've got a maid and she's got like 2 responsibilities and she hasn't even done that. It could be the case, right?
Oh, lazy pregnant bitch.
It could also be the case that he's just like walking around the house and he's lazy and does nothing. And he thinks that since she has a job, he can boss her around all day to do whatever he wants. That could be the case too, but we just don't know. We don't have any. We have no context. The reality is that I'll tell you this. This is just like a life fact. This is just, I don't know how else to tell you other than you'll learn when you get older. You cannot judge a relationship based on a 3 or 4 minute fight. If you think you can, it's because you're retarded. Full stop. That's it. You just can't. You can't. You have no.
Pretty sure 26 and 19. Okay, well I don't know. Either way. I don't think I have that crazy of an issue with it anyway. As long as there was nothing like super weird going on, it's not the fucking end of the world. If they just met like at this fucking comedy club or whatever, I'm pretty sure that's where they met, isn't it? You know, it's not a crazy issue to me. It's just a kind of interesting thing. I hear people hate him say.
Idea. There are so many types of fights where once you get more information, you're like, oh shit, okay, I understand this, or wow. Crazy. Like, oh, okay, this makes sense why this person do that. Like, you can never ever on like a 2, 3, 4 minute thing just evaluate on shit like this. Like, you can't do it. So as long as we don't see someone beating his wife, we can't make any judgments. Yep, that's what I said. See you later, forever. Never, ever, ever unban.
Steven wasn't sure what the issue was exactly. Lots of dysfunctional, abusive couples are this way. And Destiny normalizes that behavior constantly because he knows that that is him.
Maybe sometimes like a level below you. You know what I mean? I just want to be treated as an equal.
I think you get treated like an equal when you start contributing like an equal.
And even if she has a viable complaint about him not pulling his weight, not doing chores, not showing initiative, right? That she has to tell him to take the garbage out or has to tell him to...
Dude, you know, I don't want to do the fucking Psychology in Seattle videos. Women actually sit there watching this shit all day. This fries women's brains, by the way. This shit absolutely fries women's brains. It's so fucking crazy. Sitting there watching like this therapy talk slop content all day, every day. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. Who is this? He's like this marriage therapist or some shit who sits there just like endlessly analyzing like TV shows and like I think he did like Frenemies or something. That's why they all watch him. And sits there and goes, okay, this is abusive. This is abusive. This communication style is incredibly abusive. And that's every video. That's every video.
Like an equal, and you start contributing like an equal. And even if she has a viable complaint about him not pulling his weight, not doing chores, not showing initiative, right? That she has to tell him to take the garbage out or has to tell him to, clean the dishes or something. That's okay. You can have that. She can have that complaint from here to Sunday. Is that an idiom? But that does not justify what she just said. Under no circumstances is it okay to treat a spouse like they are below you. Under no circumstances. So, and then at the reunion, she's still saying I'm blunt, I need to watch the tone of voice, but everything I'm saying is accurate and okay. But I just need to be kinder when I'm delivering it. No.
He is similar to the Crowders, similar to the Sneakos, and similar to the Tates. No matter how much he tries to tell you, he debates these people because he isn't like them. Regardless of what he tells himself, listen to what he's telling you. He is telling you every day in those streams exactly who he is. Believe him. The one last piece that he told me that I think really is what garners a lot of empathy is that he is traumatized and that he has suffered in his life. And that if you know anything about his childhood that's public, you know that this boy was traumatized.
If you're making this much money, I don't want to live like right here, right? I like to live like this. My parents lived.
Oh, dude, it's so crazy. I've said this as well. I've actually said this. I've said this exact thing. That it's pretty, if I were to draw out some schizophrenic psychoanalysis of Destiny, it would all come back to this story. It would all come back to this story that he told. I feel like this has to fry someone's ability to or someone's attachments, their relationship shit. It has to.
Right at the edge of their income for their whole fucking lives. But I would go and visit my grandma every weekend. My grandma, I didn't know at the time what's normal or not, but my grandma is really fucking weird, where she would buy dogs and then kill them. Throughout the course of the 8 years that I spent a lot of time with her, she must have had 20 dogs. I would guess anywhere from 15 to 20 dogs. But what she would do is she would buy a dog and then she would keep it for 3 or 4 months, and then it would do something wrong, it would pee in the house or it would chew up some furniture, but she never trained him or anything, and she would get mad, and then she would make up a story about how the dog was sick, or she didn't want to give the dog up because she was worried that somebody would abuse it, and then she would take it to the vet and they would end up putting it down. Here's a really weird thing that happened to me. One of the weirdest things, when I was living with my grandma when I was 17, so we had a little, I don't even remember what kind of dog, so this dog got in trouble a ton. This little dog pissed an unbelievable amount in my grandma's room. Her whole floor next to her bed was coated in dog piss. One of the days that I got up to leave, it was 4:30, 4:45, I heard the dog pissing in my grandma's room, and I'd never seen it before. And this dog was taking this massive piss. And I remember that I opened my door, and my grandma had her hands on the bed, and she was just kind of barely leaning over, and she was just pissing all over the floor. And she kind of looked at me, and I kind of looked at her, and I didn't say anything. And she kind of grumbled a little bit, and then she crawled back into bed.
So yeah, so she had Alzheimer's or whatever. She was going crazy, pissing in the night, and Destiny found out that all those dogs that he might have gained attachments to were being killed because his grandma was going crazy and was just pissing herself and then blaming the dog. So that's the most insane. That's gotta fucking fry you, I feel I don't even know how I would have fucking processed that shit as a kid.
And I left, and I was like, holy. So I guess all of that in the bedroom was just hers.
And my heart goes out to child Destiny. But you're no longer a child. You're in your mid-30s and you want to be considered respectable. Here's your opportunity to be. Will you take it? I don't know. I wish nothing but the best for him. in terms of his mental health. I hope he sees the right kind of therapist to help him. I hope he stops dating and interacting and abusing people in the way that he does. I hope that he protects his community moving forward. And I hope the people in his life are able to hold him accountable in ways that I don't think they have, since he hasn't come out and admitted any of the fault that he's made. Remember that when his divorce was happening, he let the narrative be spun that it came out of nowhere, that she cheated and left him. Even Ray William Johnson covered this story, claiming that that's all that occurred, without ever taking into consideration anything that came before that. In some ways, if you look at the story in a different way, it was a woman in an abusive relationship who finally was able to be free. And that's all.
Yeah, I don't know adding that story here really serves to do. I mean, I don't know that she's really using that against him, to be fair. I feel like that does kind of almost soften your perception of Destiny a bit, right? Like people were saying, like apparently Sunday said that was the first time he ever felt bad for Destiny watching that clip. I feel like for a lot of people, that is gonna be like, yeah, oh, okay. This shows a bit of a different side.
So true. Regardless of how messy any of these people are, they are people. And I believe in redemption. And I hope they all go on a path to seek that peace.
No, her entire video isn't leveraged on that point. It's not. It's not. She's talking about all the cheating and shit, right? People probably already hate him by that point. That's probably more softening.
And redemption within their own values. I plan to move forward in 2025, making better and healthier connections. I'm going to be more diligent about who I collab with. I'm trying really hard to do my research before talking to people. I'm okay with political differences, but I'm not okay with the apologist, and I'm not okay doing whatever it takes to win in any political bubble. Last but not least, thank you to my audience who has been here, who has been supportive. And honestly, thank you to the people that sent me messages, both during the bridge burning and even recently, letting me know that you too have been impacted by these communities and by this content creator named Destiny. I understand.
So yeah, kind of a lame, pretty pointless hit piece. I agree that on a hypocrisy level, on like making it safe for the women in the community or whatever this gay shit he goes on about sometimes is, like, yeah, obviously he doesn't show a very good attitude towards women a lot of the time, and obviously his community is going to emulate that. So obviously it's not going to be a welcoming place to women. So why is he banging on about it so much, other than to score women? But do I care that he's a misogynist, cheater, and rape apologist? No. No, not really. The Anna stuff would be interesting if we got more details about it. I'd like to hear Abba tell that story of Destiny saying he needs to get Anna on his side. I'd like to hear Abba give his interpretation, because I would trust that slightly more, and I'd like to see what the common features are between his telling and Brittany's telling. But I'm glad I'm even more vindicated. That's all that matters, really.